Welcome back to another episode of Fresh Film Talk. I have the award-winning director, founder of Garnet Films. She's directed films like Western World, Christmas Collision, and her new film, Death for Dinner, drops this Friday on Apple TV. We have breaking news. We have breaking news right now. She also has a new film, Wine Thief, that dropped today. You can catch it on Fandango. I had the lovely guest, director Lana Read in the building.
Wow, that's an intro. Thank you so much.
How's it going, Lana?
Good.
Excellent. So on the show, we'd like to have fun.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start off, before we get into why you're here, we're going to start off with some icebreaker questions. Are you ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
Alrighty. So if you could have any fictional character to join you on set as your assistant director, who would it be and why?
Bohannon from Hell on Wheels.
And why?
Because he kept shit going. He didn't take
yeah.
any crap.
No. Let's keep it. No. Let's go. No. Don't look at him. Let's go. Let's get it. That's what I like to see. Okay. So
he got it done.
Yeah. Let's keep the same energy going.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's the last movie you watched that made you say, I wish I directed that?
A Complete Unknown.
Oh, really?
I just watched that, the Dylan film. Yeah,
Okay.
It was really great.
Okay.
So well done, beautifully shot. I said about 50 times, God, that's a beautiful shot. Yeah.
Ah, okay. Just the way that it was shot. Okay.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Gotcha.
Acting was phenomenal too. So
Definitely. And it was nominated for a lot of Oscars as well, right?
I don't think so. I don't think it was nominated for any Oscars.
It
was
wasn't? Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry,
I
had
don't know.
to look to my engineer over there. He said, yeah, it was. Alrighty. So, if you could turn any moment from your own life into a movie scene, what genre would it be, and who would play you?
Oh wow, would be a horror film. Dating back to 2021.
Hold on. So why would it be a horror film though? Out of all genres, it could be, it could be a comedy.
Well, you know
fantasy.
how they say that like every day, so many people walk past a serial killer and they don't even know it. So in 2021, if I could have just walked right by someone instead of stopping, I would have walked right by them. So yeah, horror film.
Okay. I didn't know where that was gonna go after that. Was it? Yeah. So who would play you though?
Wow, who would play me?
Yeah. You remind me
Lena
of
Headey.
Neve Campbell.
Really?
Did you get that?
I get Jennifer Love Hewitt face. A lot.
Okay.
I don't see that, but
You don't see.
know.
You don't see.
Jennifer
You don't
Love
see
Oh, okay.
Jennifer. Okay.
No.
I see a lot of.
I've never got that one.
Yeah.
Neve Campbell. No.
I feel like I'm in a Scream movie right now. Neve Campbell. Scream.
Yeah. Psycho. That's the better
I tried. Yeah. Ghostface. Scary movie.
You're too young for Psycho. Come on. Remember Psycho?
Yeah.
Norman Bates?
Yeah.
Butcher Knife? Yeah, that's my Scream.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you. So, what's the most unusual and unexpected place you've ever found inspiration for a film idea?
Wow, unusual place for a film idea. A film idea?
Yes.
Let's see.
So you can be sitting on a beach, drinking along.
That's typical.
Island.
That's typical. Like, that's where you get creative. That's where
Yeah.
you get inspiration. I'm going to say the Greyhound station.
Okay.
It's in downtown Cincinnati. I can't remember what streets it's on. It's on that weird, right by the ramp to 71. Yeah, in there.
The Greyhound station.
Yeah.
So like,
I had a friend who was a pop artist, and this is a long time ago, he would travel on Greyhound, and he would just stop and hang out with people for a week or two as he would go like from one coast to the other. And he stopped to hang out with me for a couple of weeks, and I picked him up down at that Greyhound station. His bus was late. And I remember that being inspiration for a project that hasn't been produced yet.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And if you could direct a movie in a completely new genre for you, what would it be, and what's the wildest plot you can think of? Let me say that again, because I don't think I said wildest correct.
Okay.
So if you could direct a movie in a completely new genre for you, what would it be, and what's the wildest plot you can think of?
Well, I would probably say like a family film.
Okay.
Like Hardy Boys meets Nancy Drew kind of thing.
Okay. Throwback books.
Stranger Things sort of feel with some younger kids in it.
Okay. Keep it modern.
Probably like some kind of
heist
that goes wrong.
Stranger with younger kids.
Yeah, well, they were younger when they started.
Oh, okay.
Right?
So, not younger. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay,
no. Like teens.
Okay,
yeah.
Gotcha.
Adventure, Hardy Boys, Nancy Drew. You're too young for them. Too young for Nancy Drew and Hardy Boys.
I've like seen some Hardy Boys books and Nancy Drew books, but haven't read them.
I would probably do some kind of heist, piratey, on the water, underwater, crazy stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Underwater crazy stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So like Jaws or something like that, or Deep Blue Sea. What are you thinking?
I don't know. No, not shark related.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Dumping bodies in weighted barrels and things, maybe.
Oh, okay. Well,
that's not really a family film now, though.
Moving right along. So let's get along. Let's get a little bit about yourself. So before we get into the nitty gritty.
Yeah.
So can you tell us about your journey from hand modeling into acting to directing? Take us on that journey. Take us from day one, how it started, into where you're at now.
On day one, I contacted a local talent agency, and he said, "I need you to come in so I can look at you." And I'm like, okay, well, back in the late 80s, it was all about the way you looked,
Okay.
And when you walk in and someone's looking at you and they're like, "Let me see your hands," and they're like, "Well, let's start there. You have good hands," and I'm like, "Oh, we got to work on the rest."
You got to show us the hands.
Oh, they're tattooed and stuff now.
Well, you got some good nails on the hands. Oh,
yeah, thank you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Before we get into what's the inspiration behind the tattoos?
Native American.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a little Cherokee in my bloodline. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
All good. Okay. All good.
But you can keep it on going now.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So I started out as a hand model. He got me a couple of hand modeling gigs, and then he contacted me about playing a dead body on New Detectives.
Okay.
A series that used to come through in the 80s and 90s. So I did that, and then I started talking to the crew more than I was on my mark where I was supposed to be. So wanting to find out why they were shooting the way they were shooting, and why aren't you shooting in a different direction? Why are you lighting it that way? And, all that stuff. So I started writing my own short films and just started casting them and directing them. But I was also acting at the same time. So I went down and studied with Silvana Gallardo, who had relocated from Hollywood to Paris, Kentucky. And when I started training with her, it was more inspiring for me to also direct. So I started building features from there.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So from there, you just been rocking and rolling and crushing it, huh?
I've been trying.
Oh, that's what's up.
My best effort.
So as an award-winning director, what was the most challenging project you worked on? And how did you overcome those challenges?
I think the most challenging was probably Death for Dinner, regarding like overnight shoots. Yeah, that's it's really hard when you mess up your entire schedule. When you're used to, I'm an early riser. I'm up at like 5 o'clock every morning. And I go to bed pretty early. So when it was a complete shift for me.
Yeah.
But I think that was it was hard on the cast and crew too, because everybody's got a different schedule.
Right.
And you have to readjust, and you get a day off. Now you're doing day shoots. So the schedule was pretty grueling on Death for Dinner. And we did work some long days. I think we had 2 14-hour days. And we had one 16-hour day.
Whoa.
The rest of them landed about 13.
How many days did you work on that film?
13.
13
days.
13, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
13 days.
Wow, so you shot that in 13 days?
Which is still not a lot. When you talk about, producing a film, most people are like, well, we shot for 2 months. And I'm like, we don't have the budget to shoot for 2 months. So we're going to get it done in 2 weeks.
Yeah, especially, with those long hours and everything like that. I can only imagine how exhausted, but I'm pretty sure, that effort was very much worth it when we watched the film.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And then You've been described as a actor's director. How do you use your acting experience to connect with your actors?
Well, I think starting out as an actor, I have more in common with the actors when they're building their character or learning the nuances or the quirks that they have.
Mm-hmm.
So I know what I have in my head if I've written it or I'm going to direct it. When I meet with the actors, I can help them sort of navigate from a different perspective than someone who's just a director. Because I would approach it the same way they do, breaking down the script, looking at the character and learning all the different nuances. So I can talk to them about that. And being an actor, we have more to communicate with other than someone just directing an actor.
Right. And how important do you think that is?
I think it's extremely important.
Gotcha.
Yeah. To me, it's really important. The relationship between a director and actor, there has to be so much trust there. Mm-hmm. And I feel like because I have an acting background and transition to directing, I feel like maybe actors trust me a little bit more than someone who's just a director that they're meeting the first time.
Gotcha. So Garnet Films has produced some remarkable films with compelling narratives and stunning visuals. What is your creative process when developing a new project from start to finish?
Oh, wow.
Don't get me started. Where do I start?
I get fully immersed. I live it 24 hours. I block pretty much everything else out and dive into the characters and the script and the locations. And I have a hand in every single aspect of the film. And more so on the back end and edit as well. I put in all the hours with the editors and reviewing all the footage and helping with the edit and giving my notes and stuff. But yeah, I'm fully immersed from beginning to end. And usually it's about a 9-month process. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So with you being fully invested like that, does it take a toll on you, or what sacrifices do you make personally in order to make a full-on investment like that?
I don't feel like I make any sacrifices. Okay. So, my son is 20. Okay. Yeah, he's got his thing.
He's a grown adult now.
Yeah, he's an animator on YouTube. So he's got his creative thing going on, and only thing I sacrifice is a little time with my Yorkie.
Okay.
A little Yorkie. But no, I don't feel like it's a sacrifice at all, and I enjoy it. I like being immersed in it, like, completely.
Excellent. Yeah. So your films are often have thought-provoking narratives. How do you choose the stories you want to tell, and what themes are you most passionate about when exploring these movies?
Yeah, most of the films that I'm involved with are either written by someone that I know.
Okay.
Like Death for Dinner was purposely written for Garnet Films to produce. I actually sat with Brian and we talked about doing a murder mystery because, when Knives Out came out, there was like a resurgence for murder mysteries. And I'm like, we need to get ahead of the curve now. Let's go ahead and start.
Do you have a co-directing or co-writing credit on this film? Or?
I do.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. But Brian, I always call Brian the writer because he did most of the work,
Gotcha.
Yeah, I like to go in with every script that we produce, and I make some changes. Not only like director notes and things like that, but sometimes writers aren't great with writing what a woman would say. So
you mean male writers or writers in general?
Male writers.
Okay.
Yeah, male writers. Some of them are great at it, but not all of them.
Yeah.
Or the lingo feels dated. So you got to make it more, well, she wouldn't say that and no one uses that word anymore, kind of thing. Yeah, so I like to work with people that I know for scripts and help develop them, even if it's like before they start writing. Yeah.
Gotcha. And so the film industry is ever evolving. How do you stay updated with the latest trends and technologies, and how do they influence your filmmaking?
Yeah, that's streaming has really disrupted the film industry.
Disrupted?
In a good way.
Okay.
In a good way. There's more opportunity for people.
Yeah.
Anybody that has an iPhone honestly can make a film.
Yeah, absolutely.
You might need to buy some attachments or lenses that'll fit it. That's fine.
But it's doable.
But it's doable.
Yeah.
You may not get streaming with it. You may. I don't know. But yeah, streaming gives everybody a lot more access to have their films seen. Mm-hmm. And so many more people are making films now that it is becoming like so saturated, and there's so much more competition now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I rely heavily on the team of people that I work with that are more on the tech side than I am.
Okay.
I'm at that age now where it's like every time a social media platform comes out, somebody's like, hey, are you going to get on such and such? And I'm like, no, I'm not doing it.
Right.
I'm not getting on another platform.
Right.
I've got these.
I already got my Facebook and my X and my Instagram. Yeah. That's all I need. Yeah. I don't need anything else.
I'm not learning another one. I'm good. So, yeah. But for the technical side of film, I lean heavy on my crew. I have some great people that I work with.
Because you definitely need a good, strong team in order to be successful in this business for sure. You can't do it all on your own.
No.
That's one. Yeah. So what advice would you give to aspiring filmmakers who want to start their own production companies and create impactful films like Garnet Films?
LLC your company. Just create it. Go to Secretary of State, LLC it, and put some thick skin all over your whole body because you're going to need it. You're going to hear no a lot. You're going to get pushback on things. You just have to be consistent and passionate and stick to your guns and do your thing. You have to. You just got to full steam ahead.
So would you say you've received more no's than yeses?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So how do you yourself personally deal with that and overcome it without it negatively impacting you?
It used to negatively impact me. It would break my heart, but after a while, I'm like, it's business. Yeah. Don't take it personal. It's business. If someone doesn't want to invest in your film, they're just not comfortable investing. Yeah. Or if they don't want to be in your film, they just don't feel it's right for them, but don't take it to heart. Don't take it personal. It's why I don't read reviews.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you think you would take it personal if you do read some negative reviews, or?
No, I don't think I would take it personal. I just don't even want to give it headspace. I've had people say, just don't even waste your time reading it.
So if you don't read reviews, do you think like how would you know as yourself as a filmmaker if you're getting because better?
Other people tell me, hey, I read this review the other day.
So you don't read them personally, but somebody else will read it. Okay, yeah. I'm with you.
Yeah.
So I think we touched on this a little bit, but we'll dive deeper into it. So with the increasing importance of streaming platforms, how do you see the future of independent filmmaking, and what are your plans for Garnet Films moving forward?
Well, for Garnet Films, I've got a couple of projects that are already moving forward. One is a 6-episode series, which is a crime drama. And then I've got another one that's sort of an organized crime drama, heist type film that... Can
you give us any scoops on them yet? Or is it still in development?
I cannot. We're still in development. But yeah, they're a fun ride. They're twisty. I like twisty. Okay. Twisty films are great. Something that at the end, it just makes my mind go.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I'm with you on that. Like this. I think my favorite one is still The Sixth Sense.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't think anyone's seen that twist coming.
No. No, that's a great one.
All right. So let's get to why we're here. We had the Miss Lovely Lana Read in the building. So let's talk about Death for Dinner. So my first question I want to ask is, what inspired the story of Death for Dinner, and how did you approach giving a fresh twist to the classic genre?
Yeah. So when Knives Out came out, and then other people started talking about, I think somebody mentioned doing a remake of Clue.
Yeah. And
I loved Clue and like Murder by Death, all those, people arriving to a house or a mansion and then someone dies kind of thing. And then I can't remember the title of that one that Kenneth Branagh was in. Anyway, it's another murder mystery.
Okay.
I talked to my screenwriter friend, Brian Dobbins, and I said, we need to get ahead of the curve on this. We need to write a murder mystery. So we came up with the idea, and he wrote it,
Mm-hmm.
and I tweaked it with Philip Booth. We did a little revision on it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not your typical murder mystery. Yes, it's set in a mansion.
Yeah.
But I wanted to do something that wasn't just, wrapped up with a little bow at the end that everybody's going to go, oh, I knew it was going to be that person. It's, the butler with the candlestick. I didn't want to do that. So this one is, it's Knives Out meets Seven. It's grittier, which is what I wanted. So
yeah.
I think if people will get past the idea that it's a gathering in a house, they'll be pleasantly surprised.
Okay. Any without any spoilers, any like surprises? Well, not surprises, but anything you can get us engaged and excited for the movie.
I think that people are going to be really excited about the twist that they go on the adventure to experience.
Okay.
And I think that they're going to enjoy watching the characters because they're so quirky.
Who's your favorite character?
My favorite character?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm probably going to say Katrina.
And
other than Michael Paré is Noah Rafferty because he's phenomenal. I love Michael. Katrina is played by Annie Gill.
Okay.
And she is married to the senator's brother. And she's wealthy. They have money, and she's constantly drinking through the whole thing. And she has no filter.
Okay.
And she's just a fun, quirky character, and Annie Gill did phenomenal at playing her.
I'm with it.
Yeah.
So the film the film's mix of mystery and quirky family drama is unique. So how did you balance these elements while directing?
It was interesting watching everybody with their characters and their quirks, and making sure you were more drunk the scene before, so you need to be a little more drunk now. So trying to keep all their quirks in check was interesting. But we did a lot of Zoom rehearsals, leading up to it. So everybody was they were on point when we got on set. And a lot of the suspense and tension and everything was all created in edit, in post. But yeah, it was pretty easy to navigate on the set because everybody was so professional and they had their characters down.
So what would you prefer, a Zoom or in-person rehearsal?
Well, I would definitely prefer in person.
Yeah.
But when you're bringing people into Ohio from LA,
yeah,
okay. I can't bring them in and with the budget for 2 weeks to sit around a table and rehearse. So.
Gotcha.
And they have lives too. They probably have other things they want to do too.
Well, besides the obvious of convenience, what can you get more out of a Zoom rehearsal versus a in-person rehearsal, would you say?
Can you get more out of a Zoom?
Yeah.
You can if you do one-on-ones.
Okay.
Yeah, but when you're doing a whole group read, I just have them run through the scenes and then have them do it again and then give a couple of notes. But I give most of my direction when I do one-on-one rehearsals with them on Zoom.
Okay.
So in person, you could do that. But if you're bringing people in, you're going to want to get everybody all at one time. So I think it's more flexible, so you can spend more time on Zoom.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And this means Zoom, by the way. This means Zoom.
Oh, okay. Somebody might be watching on mute and think something else, but yeah. Okay. So the ensemble cast is impressive. So it's featuring names you might have to open some of these names, but it features names like Michael Paré.
Yep.
Okay. John Savage.
Yep.
How did you go about casting for this film, and what is the dynamic like on set?
It was great. The on-set dynamic was phenomenal. So when we started writing, when Brian started writing, we came up with the concept, I was like, Michael has to play Noah Rafferty. He's great. Because I worked with him in a couple of other projects. And
what other projects did you work with him on?
He's in Christmas Collision.
Okay.
And he's in Death for Dinner.
Okay.
Or, I'm sorry, Dogwood Pass. Yeah, he's in Dogwood Pass, which is a Western that's a series.
Okay.
We shot the pilot. We're still trying to develop that. So I'd still love to do it.
And then what about John Savage? Did you work with him on other projects as well? Or?
I did not. No, I had, so Cyril O'Reilly is also in the film, and anyone who used to watch the Porky's films, you're too young for these. I was too young to be watching them when I was watching them. I was like 12, I think. And
hold on.
They're raunchy. They're raunchy, high school, it's, yeah.
And it's called the Porky's film?
It's called Porky's. There's a series of films, yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I'm thinking like pigs or something.
No, so Cyril was in that, and I met him at AFM in 2023. He walked into our suite, and I looked at him and I said, "Why do I know your face?" And he was like, "Oh, I was in all the Porky's movies." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's right. I shouldn't have been watching those." So he's in Death for Dinner. He plays the senator.
Okay.
He connected me with John.
Gotcha.
And he was like, "John would be great in this." And I'm like, "Let's do it."
Excellent.
Yeah. So it's who you know.
Yeah.
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 Big part of it.
You had over 7,000 submissions for this?
Yeah.
And you went through all the submissions.
I did.
So what is that process even like? I know there had to be a ton of days maybe going through that.
Oh yeah, it was weeks. Yeah.
Oh well. Okay.
It was weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Yeah. And it was hard because I wasn't getting much sleep because I was casting in my head.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I would lay down and try to go to sleep, and I'm thinking, well, I just saw that there were 300 submissions. I should probably stay up and go through those. So I went through first, and it was a visual for me.
Mm-hmm.
I knew what I wanted the characters to look like or resemble.
Yeah.
If a woman pops up and I want a character to have blonde hair and they have black hair and they've submitted for the role, I'm going to immediately,
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
That is what happens.
So you can't, so even when you look at the talent, they may not fit, like how you said.
The vision.
Right. But it can just be like how you said, they had the different hair color, but maybe they had the deliverance as far as the mannerism that you envision for the character.
Yeah.
Would you ever consider, you know what, maybe that person can dye their hair, or maybe this person can put a wig on to mask that, because they may have a better, fit personality wise for the character. Do you ever consider anything like that, or is it just you know what, I'm on the move. If you don't fit the bill, keep it moving?
I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, I would consider it if we had in the budget the option to change people's hair.
Okay.
For wigs and things.
Yeah.
Possibly. But I think it feels like it just delays the process. With a bigger budget film, you can do that.
Right.
Which a lot of them do. They change, the actor's look because they want that actor. But when you're doing indie film with a budget under $1 million, you have to stay on track. So I just
Gotcha. Well, if you don't mind me asking, what was the exact budget for?
I can't tell you that.
Oh, okay. Yep. You gotta try your shot, and sometimes you miss, but you gotta shoot that shot sometimes. Okay, under $1 million. We can know. Okay, under $1 million. Okay, and so so I'm a filmmaker myself, and I can only imagine with that, getting a budget like that, trying to recoup that money as well. So what avenues are you taking in order to, I guess, get that money back and getting the green and profit?
So for Death for Dinner, we have a sales agent.
Okay.
And so we have U.S. distribution, obviously, U.S. and Canada, and he's just actively searching for some foreign deals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, foreign, it's interesting because there's a lot of piracy once you go foreign.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So you got to be careful about that.
Gotcha. Well, let's get back to Death for Dinner. So for quirky siblings vying for their father's millions, adds a layer of intrigue. Were there any particular inspirations behind the family dynamics in the story?
No, I don't think there was any. Well, Brian may have an inspiration for it since he wrote it. He may have those people, that have those quirks in his life. No, but I think we just tried to structure it a lot like your typical murder mystery in a house with you've got the doctor there, you've got the drunk wife, you've got the
I'm
the
interested.
uppity
I'm really
sister.
interested because it's, I don't want to say cliche, but it's like a classic genre whodunit type of a thing. But the way you're describing it, I'm definitely gonna check it out.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna review it.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna send it to you.
Good.
You need to watch it.
Okay.
Are you gonna watch it?
What, your review? Yeah, I'll watch it.
Okay.
I'll watch it.
Okay. Because you say you don't like watching reviews or looking at reviews.
Sure.
So
I'll watch it.
I'm gonna make one,
I have
probably
my
this
word.
week.
Yeah, I'll watch it.
I'm going to send it to you.
Okay.
And you have to tell me what you think.
Okay.
Okay.
So you have to tell me how you felt when you got to the gasp moment because you'll get to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you critique me.
Okay.
Okay. So like, okay. All right.
Deal.
Let's go. All right. So, were there any challenges or memorable moments while directing Death for Dinner, especially given the mix of suspense, drama, and humor?
There was one really great moment. I'll never forget it. Wendell and Michael have, it's sort of like a wrap up type thing they're doing. And it was a lot of dialogue. I mean, it was heavy dialogue. And
like it'll make you cry type dialogue?
No, just really heavy memorization and heavy content, you know. And I remember when they finished the dialogue, they looked at each other. And I waited because they had such an intense look at each other on the screen. And I went, cut. I let it hold for a minute. And as soon as I did, they smiled at each other and they high-fived and because they just nailed it. And everybody started clapping for them. It was it was a great moment.
Great.
Yeah, I remember that one. That one sticks out. So, yeah. And working with Scarlett, the little girl. There's a little girl in the film. She's a gem. She's up and coming. I'm telling you. Keep an eye on her.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's her
great.
last name?
Scarlett Falling.
Scarlett Falling. Okay.
Yeah.
Definitely keep my eye out for her because
Yeah.
you make it sound like she's gonna be the next movie star
She's
for
great.
sure. Okay.
Yeah.
And it'll be great to have her. Is this her first role?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Definitely be checking out Scarlett in the future. What do you hope viewers take away from Death for Dinner after the credits roll?
I just want them to be entertained. I want them to walk away talking about it, talking about the twists. Like it's not a typical murder mystery. Wow, I didn't see that coming. Wow, that's different. Yeah.
Okay. So the twist. So you keep talking about the twist. You got me. Yeah, I definitely want to see what the twist is. I'm gonna let you know if I saw it coming though in my review.
Everybody gasped, and it's gonna either you're gonna go, wow, that was awesome, or it's gonna make you mad. Yes, some people it made mad, but
Oh man,
so,
do you do like any test screenings by any chance? Or
we just did a premiere.
Okay,
and we had some people give us their thoughts, and
I wasn't invited.
No one knew. Well, it was public. You guys could have came.
Where was the premiere at?
The Sorg Theater in Middletown.
Okay,
it's where I saw my first film.
Okay,
yeah, so that's kind of cool.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's out of my way. I don't know anything about what's going on in Middletown. Yeah. I got a speeding ticket in Middletown, and that's
so you don't go back now.
No, well, I have to travel, so I went to Bowling Green State University, and I drive 75 all the time. So I just know when I see Middletown, I slow down. But
I don't blame you,
because they always have the highway patrol right there, and I'm like, so if you can invite one of the characters from the movie to dinner, who would it be and why?
Noah Rafferty. He's a wealth of knowledge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Gotcha. And then what's next for you after Home for Dinner? Are there any other projects in development you're working on? Anything you can share with us?
Yeah, we've got a couple projects coming up. One is a 6-episode series called 5 Will Die. We're in pre-production on that right now. The script is written. It's ready to go. So we're just now starting to work on it. Okay. And then I've got a crime drama, like a mob type film. Oh, as really? Well. Yeah.
That's my cup of tea right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
So if you ever need like an intern, a PA, or if you need like someone to do some behind the scenes for you for free, holla at your boy. I got you. I'm serious.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Deal.
Okay. No, deal? Yeah,
deal.
Oh,
I always need...
We on wax right now. She said deal. So if I come back...
I always need BTS. Yeah.
Okay. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about right there. All right. So I'm going to get into some tough questions for you. And then we'll ease it on up and then we'll wrap up. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Tough questions.
Here we go.
I thought they were all tough so far.
Oh, these are going to be...
trouble.
These are even tougher right here.
Okay.
All right. So question number 1. So what has what has been your journey as a female director in the industry, traditionally dominated by men, and how have you navigated through those challenges?
It's interesting. So I spoke to someone, this has been quite a few years back. I spoke to someone, I had 5 films under my belt. And
well, big flex.
and I met this guy who he was producing his first film.
Okay.
And he was talking to me about directing. And it was an action film.
Mm.
And he goes, it's between you and one other director. And I said, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, just let me know. We had a great conversation, talked about getting people attached to it that I had connection to that we could bring in to be in the film, that could be a name.
Mm-hmm.
And then about 3 weeks later, he messages me and he goes, hey, just wanted to let you know, it's an action film, so I think I'm going to go with the guy. And he has a few more thousand subscribers and stuff than you on YouTube. And
wow.
I went, I wish you the best of luck.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So how did that film do? I'm not going to ask what.
Yeah, I won't tell you. I won't
but
tell you.
How did it do?
I don't think there was anybody attached to it that you would recognize.
Okay.
And I think I saw a poster. I didn't even check, so I don't even know if it ever came out.
So how does that make you feel? Because so he went with him because he's a guy and he has more subscribers.
Yeah, I think a man can do action better than a female. Wow. And I'm like, hello, have you seen Point Break? That was directed by a female.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's. I think people do look at women differently. It's funny because I've done these films and they're not over $1 million.
Even like Patty Jenkins with Wonder Woman.
Yeah. So much pushback.
Yeah.
One of the most iconic scenes in that film, they wanted her to cut out. The no man's land when she goes up the ladder by herself.
Yeah.
They wanted her to cut that out.
Wow.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Just too much of a powerful woman, I guess. I try not to dwell on it. I just push full steam ahead. I know it's there. I know it's an issue because I've experienced it.
Yeah.
It's funny because there are male producers in the business that go, you can't let that bother you. And I'm like, spoken by someone who's never experienced it.
Yeah.
You don't know what it's like. So I think that men are handed money for bigger budget films quicker than women are. Men are paid more for their acting roles. They're not on my films, but in the big budget films, the men make more money. So it's there.
Yeah.
You just can't let it harden you. You have to keep going.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And how do you think the film industry has evolved in terms of opportunities and representations for women since you started?
Oh, I think it's gotten better, especially with streaming. I think there's more women making content. I think there are just more women in general getting involved in filmmaking. So therefore, it's looking like we have more representation.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what advice would you give young women aspiring to pursue careers in directing and other leadership roles in filming?
Speak your mind. Don't let people shut you down. You have to. You have to be your own voice because if you don't, people will walk all over you.
See, in not just in the film industry, but what I get when I speak to women about speaking their minds, it can be viewed as being quote unquote bitchy, you know what I mean? Versus.
So there's the difference.
Yeah.
If a woman is stern and shows authority, she's a bitch.
Yeah.
But if a man does it, he knows what he wants.
Yeah.
He knows what he wants. He's got a vision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how does that make you feel, and why do you think that is?
It's unsettling a little bit. I don't like that. But here's what I always say: if anybody thinks I'm a bitch, I've been called worse. It's my film. I'll be a bitch if I want to, and you can call me that if you want.
Stand on business right there. I feel it. Yeah. I like that. All right. So, do you think do you think your perspective as a woman influences your stories, the stories that you choose, or how do you approach filmmaking?
I think it affects the way women are represented in my films. I know there are storylines where women have to be vulnerable. They have to be not as smart or weaker, but men are too in some of those characters. But I like a lot of strong females in my films. Like, I'm not go woman rah rah. Like, I support females, but I don't want women to get an unfair advantage just because they're female. I don't think that should exist. So, yeah, I have strong females in my films. And that's why I do a tweak on them, on the scripts, because sometimes men like to write women crying a lot. And I'm like, women don't cry that much. And they definitely don't do it in front of 8 people.
Right.
They'll go in the bathroom, wipe their face, they'll come out, and you'll never know they were crying. You know? So it happens. It's good.
Sounds like you know from experience.
Women carry a lot, man, on our shoulders. So yeah.
So, are there any moments in your career where you felt particularly proud of breaking barriers or contributing towards a greater inclusivity in the film industry?
Yeah, I think so. I think a moment that I was recently proud of is when we got the tax incentive for Water's Edge, because that was a whole different level for us.
Sorry to interrupt, but how do you go about getting a tax credit?
So if you go to the website, it will walk you through it. You have to have a $300,000 floor, so you have to spend $300,000 in Ohio. Okay.
So you already have to have that money.
You have to have half of it. You have to have half of your budget in place when you submit for the tax incentive, and it has 2 windows a year.
Okay.
So you show the bank account, with your half of your money in the bank.
Okay.
And then you shoot your film, and then you have to reconcile everything. You put the Ohio logo on your film. They review everything. You have to have a CPA or accountant review your budget. They'll determine what's an Ohio spend and what's not. And whatever you spent in Ohio, and it has to be at least $300,000, you get 30% back on. Okay. Yeah. So that's a great tool for your investors. Is if hey, I've got this film, it's $500,000, and we want to shoot it, and we need a couple investors, and we'll give you a return on your investment. But hey, we're going to get the tax incentive, so you're going to get 30% of your money back. So
is the incentives exclusive just for independent filmmakers, or is that also for like Hollywood?
It is for Hollywood and everybody. Yeah, that's why so many films come to Ohio to shoot. They get the tax incentive. Yeah.
So, but is there anywhere where because a lot of people from Hollywood can come in and just snatch that bad boy up. So, is there any leeway where it's just this money here is exclusively for independent filmmakers in Ohio, or it's just pretty much the wild wild west?
It's the wild wild west. It's what's going to make the biggest impact on the community. So they take, in my opinion, don't know. I didn't watch how they did it, but I think what they do is they get their submissions and then they rank them by highest to lowest budget. Okay. And I think they start at the highest and they award and come down until they run out of money. And that's who gets it. Because they want the most money coming into the state. Gotcha. Yeah.
Alrighty. So now we're going to get into some more fun questions. I hope those questions
were hard. Okay, good.
Oh, okay.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah.
All right. Woo.
Excellent.
All right.
So, if you could remake any iconic films that inspired you, like Blazing Saddles, Young Frankenstein, what would be the twist that you would add at the end?
Wow.
Or the twist in general?
You know what film I would love to do a remake on, but I won't touch it because everybody would they would slam you from the get-go. There's some films that, like, you talk about doing a remake and everybody's like, no, don't do it. Don't touch that film.
That's any film. Let's go
The
ahead.
Lost Boys.
The Lost Boys, okay.
Yeah, I know what actors I would pick and everything.
Which actors would you pick?
Well, they're not people that are known, most of them.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. So, what twist would I put on that film?
So you're not going to shout out the actors?
Nope.
Nope. Boo.
Yep. Let's see. What twist would I put on that? Ooh, I don't know.
Okay.
I'd have to think about that. Yeah, it'd be something vampire-like that you wouldn't expect. Like maybe the mom or somebody like turns around and
There we go.
Yeah, I don't know.
So on the set of Death for Dinner, which cast member was most likely to crack everyone up between takes? And what's memorable? What's a memorable moment involving them?
Probably Eric Fellows.
Okay.
Yeah, because he's just a bundle of energy.
Who does he play in the movie?
He plays Taylor Rutherford.
Okay.
He is the son of the oldest senator.
Okay.
And the brother of the senator at the table that passes away. He's just this bad boy, spoiled, loves women, gambler, black eyeliner,
Okay.
tattoos,
Okay.
crazy hair guy.
All right.
He had fun with that role. So he was constantly cracking people up. There was a moment where he's on the couch and Noah Rafferty walks in, he's talking to everybody, and he says, "You're Taylor Rutherford?" And he does this thing where he throws his arms out and he goes, "Live in the flesh." And we had to do it like 20 times because he's like, "Wait, let me do it again. Hold on.
You got it.
And he had to get that flow of his arms to say it. But yeah, it was fun.
So does that upset you? Because you're pressed for time?
No.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
No, because I look at them after they do it a couple times. I go, "One more, and we're moving on." And they go, "Okay."
So let's imagine Death for Dinner is now a dinner party game.
Okay.
All right. So what's one rule you absolutely include?
A rule for...
Or are there no rules? Everything goes.
Ooh, wow, I don't know. That's a tough one.
I told you, I asked tough questions.
That's a tough one. A rule for the game.
Or we can just say there's no rules, Anything goes. No one's off limits.
Yeah, I can't think of any rules I would put on it. You might not. Well, I'm not gonna say that. I can't say that.
Why not?
I can't say it. It's a spoiler.
Oh, okay.
I can't say it.
No spoilers.
Yeah.
No spoilers.
Okay.
Alrighty. So if you could have one of the quirky siblings from the movie crash a real life family reunion, how do you think they'll stir things up?
Oh wow. I would probably have Katrina. Katrina. Yeah.
Like the hurricane.
Taylor's wife. Yeah.
She'll definitely stir things up.
She would bring the party. She brings the party.
Life of the party.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So last question. So directing involves long hours, tough decisions. If you could have one superpower on set, what would it be and how would it have helped you for Death for Dinner?
A clone. If I could have a couple clones, that would be good.
I say that all the time. I say if there's more of me,
that'd be great.
The world would be a better place.
Yeah. One with the detectives, one with the crew, and one with the siblings. That would be great.
Gotcha. Yeah. And why? Why would you? I mean,
because wearing a lot of hats is it's tough because I cast the film and then I was a producer and directed it.
Let's go.
Yeah, it's but we all do that in independent film. We all wear multiple hats. So yeah, I like to get myself in a position now where I can just focus on my crew or my cast and let my DP and my first AD deal with my crew. Yeah, keep them on track. Yeah.
Alrighty. Anything else you want to tell the audience before we wrap it on up?
I hate to say it, but I would like to see some reviews for Death for Dinner.
Okay.
Yeah, I would.
I can make that happen for you if you.
So
I know.
If you post your video, I'll go on there and comment, and if people want to leave reviews and stuff on there, what they thought in the comments.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll read them.
You read these reviews?
I'll read these on. Look, if they're posted on your video, I'll read them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, so I'm definitely gonna make that happen. I'm gonna hold that to you.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So if I don't see, I'm gonna post it. I'll leave it up for a week.
Okay.
I don't want to see a comment from you. If I don't see a comment, I'm reaching out.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then we still good on that BTS too.
We are. Yeah.
Okay.
We shook on it.
Yeah.
There you go.
But I don't know. You're in the Hollywood industry. You know how that is sometimes. So no, I'm just playing. I know you're good for your word.
Yeah.
I do want to thank you so much. You're being an inspiration, just not on women, but just the filmmaking community here. I talked to Bernard Fields, who actually got this together, and he's just like,
I'll read
hey,
reviews on his video too, by the way.
excellent, excellent. Yeah, double whammy.
Yeah.
But he's just, hey, we have, a big time director in our own backyard, and it's just like, yo, she's like 10 minutes away. It was like, what?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, she commented on my trailer reaction and everything. So that's major. And I'm glad you did that because, us small folks, we appreciate things like that so much.
Indie film needs to stick together, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. Well, thank you for audience for tuning in. And remember to like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And always remember, stay fly, stay humble, and stay fresh. Love it. Peace.
Love it.